Good evening, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. Today is the last session of our online internship program, Empowering Trade and Economic Integration, under the theme of understanding the dynamics and potential of the China Pakistan Economic Corridor. And we have with us Dr. Tahir Mumtaz Awan, who will be talking about the challenges, concerns, and future prospects under the CPEC. And I'm just giving a brief introduction of Dr. Saab, and then we will be moving forward. Dr. Tahir Mumtaz Awan is director at the China Study Center at COMSATS University, Islamabad, associate professor at School of Business, University of Witwatersrand, Johannesburg, South Africa. He is a senior research fellow and China Grand Center School of Business at Sun Yat-sen University. So I would like to warmly welcome our speaker, Dr. Tahir Mumtaz Awan. Sir, over to you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much. I hope I am audible, Ji. I hope I am audible.
Yes, you are audible, sir. We can hear you.
I would say that it is really a pleasure. It is really, you can say, an initiative which I feel it is much needed, it is much required, or I hope we are not having any foreign attendee here. I cannot see the list of participants, but if there is some foreigner, I'll keep on speaking English. Otherwise, मैं bilingual रहूँगा जी. मुसाविर क्या आप मुझे confirm कर सकते हैं ये चीज़?
Yes, sir, sure. I mean, you can use Urdu and English both. Till now, we don't have any foreigner, but maybe they will join later on in few minutes.
Kindly ये बस थोड़ा सा देखिएगा. If some foreigner joins, do let me know. बेशक मुझे आप उस वक्त रोक के मुझे आप मुझे बता दीजिएगा.
Okay, sir.
Foreigner जो है वो join कर रहे हैं, so that I can switch to English only. But I would try कि जी मैं bilingual रहूं so that I can express myself better. Being a Pakistani, मेरी अंग्रेजी इतनी अच्छी नहीं है कि मैं आप लोगों के साथ सारा टाइम इंग्लिश में कम्युनिकेट कर सकूं. कोशिश करूंगा मैं, लेकिन फिर भी. So I'll जी हो सकता.
Yes, sir. You can continue.
ठीक है जी, ठीक है. अच्छा, मैं सबसे पहले तो एक जो मेरी प्राइमरी एफिलिएशन थी जी, वो प्राइमरी एफिलिएशन इंट्रोडक्शन में आप लोगों ने मिस किया. आई एम आल्सो द फैकल्टी मेंबर. आई एम आल्सो वर्किंग इन द कॉमसेट्स यूनिवर्सिटी इस्लामाबाद अलोंग विद माय एडिशनल ड्यूटी. जो एडिशनल ड्यूटी इस वक्त मैं किसी और के कंधों पर डाल के और फिलहाल कुछ दिनों के लिए, कुछ अरसे के लिए कह लें आप, आई एम इन चाइना. I am basically my specialization is in marketing. There is some, I guess, Angola or Waldo Angola here, who maybe is not Pakistani, and if you can confirm, Musawar. Aswaldo Angola, मैं देख रहा हूँ जो Aswaldo Angola.
Yes, sir. He is from Angola.
Okay. So
African.
because of the audience, because of one of the foreigners, we will try to speak all of the time. I'll try to speak all of the time in English, and those who are asking anything, those who want to ask any questions, please take care of this thing that we speak English, so that our brother can also understand what we are talking about. So formally starting, before starting, just give me 1 minute जी, मैं इसको screen अपनी को share कर लूं. Look, everybody can see this screen, ji.
Yes, sir.
In case there is anything which you people want to ask, or you people feel there is any problem with the screen, so I'm having the chat window in front of me. Please, rather than speaking, it is better if you people can message in the chat window. I'll keep an eye on this chat window also, just to make sure that I'm not missing anything along with my discussion. So, first of all, I would formally thank the Youth Diplomacy Forum and the ex-Chinese Association. इस वक्त जो है वो ex-Chinese Association से अजीम साहब जो हैं वो भी मेरे ख्याल है ज्वाइन किया हुआ है, या अजीम साहब के लॉगिन से किसी और ने ज्वाइन किया हुआ है. तो अजीम भाई, thank you very much for giving all the people this platform and giving me an opportunity to speak for the second time. Last time also I was part of this Youth Diplomacy Forum. This kind of initiative is much needed, or you can say this kind of initiative can bring us something which we all strive for, we all are basically here for. The topic that has been considered or chosen for this Youth Diplomacy Forum this year is also very important, the dynamics and potential of CPEC. So I believe all of us somehow are related, somehow are working on these kind of issues, and it is important to understand what we are lacking, what we are doing, what we have to do. All of these questions are very important before moving forward, because I'm given the responsibility of one of this important organizations. I call it a think tank also, and it is one of the oldest think tanks. I call it the second oldest. 2013 we established this think tank, and then जस्ट मुसाविर मुझे ये कंफर्म कर दें, मेरी स्क्रीन पे आपकी साइड पे ये सारी जो चैट विंडोज मैंने खोली ये भी नजर आ रही हैं, या सिर्फ मेरी स्लाइड्स नजर आ रही हैं?
Sir, only your slides.
चलिए बस ठीक है जी. So we started this center in 2013. In fact, 2012 May we inaugurated this center, but 2013 January से formally we started basically working on different different directions. These are the main core areas, core objectives which we are doing, which we are taking care of from the China Study Center. Right now, in my place, the acting director for the center, in my absence, is Dr. Jabir Hussain Sayyed. He is also an alumni of the center, but I am also taking care of the center from here in China. I'm regularly connected with him. Many of the things, many of the initiatives we are doing regularly together. So you can say that the person who is at the center right now in my place, or the acting director, is also playing a crucial role in it. Few of the activities that I want to highlight, I want to introduce before I formally start. So before I proceeded to China for one of the fellowships here, this was a gathering of the think tank leaders from whole of the Pakistan, from Lahore province, from Punjab, KPK, Sindh, Kashmir. We had a good interaction for about 10 days in China with different organizations, and then this was the dinner hosted by the deputy head of mission at that time. She has now completed her tenure and returned to China. We were one of the first ones to hold this session on China's Xinjiang policy. This is a very controversial issue, very debatable issue, which we are seeing different perspectives we are seeing on the international or the global media. Then we were the first ones to do a dialogue, a national level dialogue on the initiatives that has been announced by President Xi Jinping, Global Development Initiative and Global Security Initiative. I am sorry for this for the word. It is not global development issue. It is global development issue under initiative under the picture. So we were the first ones, and all the people in this picture, they are, you can say, the leaders of their thoughts, leader of these initiatives or these discussions. We also regularly host the Chinese partners at our center. We provide facilitation to them. So this is the delegation. The bigger picture is the delegation from Nanjing city. Another one, the top picture is of the one of the telecom operators, people. They visited Pakistan, and we managed to help them collaborate with different local partners. The lower picture is from the Confucius Institute teachers, and the Amir Hayat sahab ki taraf se ek message aaya, cannot hear you. If anyone else is having the same problem, or more, all of you are having the same problem, just let me know. Otherwise, anyone can just send me a message in the chat that I'm audible.
Sir, you are audible. I think he can join again. Maybe he is having some issue, but
Okay,
we can
Amir
hear
sir,
you clearly.
Amir sir, please check your side. I'm audible. Ji, baki logon ne, they have confirmed. The lower picture is from the Confucius Institute. As I have already told, we are regularly having interactions at media in Pakistan, in China. We are also having different liaison activities with the Chinese embassy. We regularly hold different kind of trainings, competitions. We also train the youth of tomorrow. We also have an internship program, regular annual internship program, and we have doing a summer camp for the culture or the Chinese language programs, along with other activities for the youngsters or for the toddlers, you can say, for the children going to grade 4 to grade 7 students, so that they can understand what we are doing. Again, representation in China also similarly. The rightmost picture on the screen is a think tank. This is one of the leading think tanks in China, 7th in China, and I guess it is on in 45 or 46 globally. The Center for China Center for Globalization. Then again, think tank forums, delegations. This is something which we are regularly hosting or regularly doing. Similarly, collaborating with other organizations and organizing different kind of activities, different guest sessions. The picture that you can see on the leftmost top left is from the last Youth Diplomacy Forum, and I talked about the Global Development Initiative and Global Security Initiative at that time. And this time I'm given a more difficult topic, but I'll try to do as good as possible, as much as I can. We also hold different celebrations together. The National Day picture you can see on your screens. Now, a little bit about the lovely romance that we are doing for the last nearly 80 years. Soon it will be 80 years. We are having about, we are in our 70s in this romance of what we call as Pak-China friendship, or Chunghwa Yoi, or in other words, the friendship that is higher than mountains, deeper than seas, sweeter than honey, and more stronger than iron. So these are the words that we hear actually. And another word we use is like the bath here. So these are always termed as the lovely romance. Why I call it lovely romance? Because this is something which we again have to. A few slides were skipped. My system maybe is not responding. Just give me 1 minute, G. The screen gets stable. Why I call it the lovely romance, G, I'll talk about it as well. We are still living in a, you can say, a situation where we still use these words, or we still are doing less as compared to our capacities, as compared to what we can do to make this friendship more worthwhile. This friendship is always related to, or this friendship is always, you can say, more concerned with, more. My screen is not responding here. You'll get the. I'm sorry for that. I'll do it again.
Sir, maybe you can share again.
Yes, that's what I'm doing. Sorry for this trouble. It's somehow not responding. Now, can you see?
Sir, maybe if you can move to the next slide.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying, but okay. Anyways, I'll continue, and meanwhile, I hope that the system will start resuming the slides. So about this Pak-China friendship, what I was saying is that we have to uh, we like this lovely romance, but we have to come out and we have to see the reality also, and the reality maybe is a commonly used terminology by Chinese also. This terminology is also common among people who know about China, who are reading about China or writing about China. We also use a word that is win-win cooperation. So in this win-win cooperation, I still say that we have to see what is our part, see what is missing at our part, and what we can do in the future. So I'll mainly, the following slides will be more focused on what we have to do, or what we have actually done, and what we have to do to make things more better, to make things more reasonable to work further. With a little heavy heart, I would say that we are losing our pace. We are losing our value also in front of the Chinese, you can say, from the leaders to the general population. And this is something which we need to be very careful of. We need to be very concerned of. Otherwise, what I can say is that Pakistan is not such a big market for China. China is not concerned about earning profits. China is not concerned about having more and more benefit from Pakistan, because if we see by area, Pakistan is more than 1/12 of, or you can say less than 1/12 of the size of China. It means that we can have more than 12 Pakistan combined, and then it becomes one China. So only if we are talking about the size, and those who know about China a little bit, even one city of China is having higher GDP. Many of the cities can be the examples, but one city is having higher GDP than our whole country. And this is not something that they have achieved overnight. This is not something that they have achieved in days, in months, in years. They have worked hard for whole of their more than 70 years. Some of the initiatives are written here, which maybe are now getting older. The recent one is the Global Civilization Initiative. We have already had much of the talk about BRI, CPEC, GDI, GSI. So this Chinese civilization initiative and the recent one, I'll talk in the later slides also, it is about artificial intelligence, are something which we need to take care of. But in this GCI, what we are trying to achieve, what we have to be concerned of, is the cultural side. We many of the people who may have listened to me earlier should remember my words that I always say: we cannot leave our identity. We cannot lose our own Pakistan's identity. We are by religion Muslims. We are living in a Muslim society, Islamic country. We cannot start leaving our religion, leaving our national identity, leaving our own sovereignty, and adopt everything that is being given or that is being offered by China. So we have to find the common points. We have to find the commonalities that we can do. But in those commonalities, we have to work hard. In those commonalities, we have to see what is more feasible for us, what is more realistic, and what can be done. The Chinese people, they are having their own traditions or their own systems. It is good to celebrate with them their national day, their different festivals, but we cannot leave our religious aspects. We cannot adopt all of that as being offered by the Chinese culture. So it is important to understand that we have to find those common points. One thing. Second thing is that it is never an obligation for us to shift to a new system. It is always a combination that works better. It is always adaptation that works better. China is not asking for standardization. China is not forcing anything on us with the aspect of culture, you can say, or with this Chinese global civilization initiative. But they are playing a very important role by training our youth, by training our leaders, by training our people. They are organizing regular trainings. Recently, there was a delegation about, or you can say 10 days ago, there was a delegation of our media representatives here. People have made very good blogs, very good vlogs also. But those vlogs are not enough. We have to think of some practical cooperation as well. The new face is China. New face of China is what we are seeing, that internationally they are gaining more power. They are getting more and more. People are getting more and more, or countries are getting more and more interest in their collaborations. We can see Central Asian region now developing. We can even see Afghanistan, which has gained independence recently, and it was in a state of war for the last about 40 years. The infrastructure development has boosted, and China was one of the countries, one of the first countries who welcomed Afghanistan, and the delegation of Afghanistan visited China. That is why, that is how they feel the importance of regional integration. That is what they are doing now. People maybe are facing difficulties globally, and they are saying that China is having some problem. China is not you can say accepted by many of the Western countries, but somehow these news are, you can say, not 100% true as far as my own perspective is concerned. Then also in the Middle Eastern region, also in the Saudi-Iran conflict, also in the inclusion of newer countries or inclusion of newer states in the in CPEC or in BRI generally, is something which can be called as the new face of China. A very small country, I hope you people know about it, Laos, is having an independent special economic zone being established recently, and it is fully operational. out of 9 SCZs, we have seen that many of those are still not still not working, or you can say still not operational. But we always cry on that kind of losses or that kind of issues. The first you can say initiative inside China that was taken in similar context of this special economic zones was for 11 cities, or you can say 11 special economic zones, and only one out of them, Shenzhen economic zone, was a success. 10 of those were failed. But they don't discuss about the failures. What we are doing is we are only crying about those losses that we have made, but we are not trying to we are not trying to appreciate those matters. Then we are not trying to appreciate those initiatives or those things which gives us benefit. The way Taiwan issue is being resolved, the way South China Sea issue has been resolved by Chinese is something which is worth to be discussed. The new plan, or I sometimes call it the rejuvenation of BRI. This happened in recent meeting of the Belt and Road Forum in October, and these 8 points were announced by President Xi Jinping. The first one is build a multinational belt and road connectivity network. Second is support an open world economy, carry out practical cooperation to support high quality belt and road construction, promote green development, advance scientific and technological innovation, support people-to-people exchanges, promote integrity-based belt and road cooperation, strengthen the institutional building for international belt and road cooperation. So if in all of these points, the common thing or the new action plan, which is being announced in October by President Xi Jinping, if we see the common point, it is regional connectivity and it is the technology. These are the 2 important points. The third one maybe, which I feel is again part of the first one, that is regional connectivity, is green development or sustainability. So we have to understand, we have to see that these 3 things, or maybe only these 2 things, are of prime importance for the world, because BRI is not something which we Pakistan or we the people at China, they are taking care of, or they are catering. This is a global initiative where more than 90% of the countries are already part of this initiative. So regional connectivity, connecting with other neighbors, we are having problem with India, we are having problem with Afghan refugees also, we are having problem at Kashmir also, but that does not mean that we only consider those problems. We have to see how we can extend, how we can see our way forward toward the Central Asia, because this look east or look toward east is the new approach. The West has gone down recently, and it is not only because of BRI, it is because of the Asian you can say development of the East, or development of the Asian region specifically. Middle Eastern region, then African region is getting popular, getting more powerful because of this BRI. So this is something that we are now seeing. This is something a little hard word, but I would say that this pomp and show or pomp and circumstance is something from which we have to take out, and we have to see what we can do practically. We believe in the strategy that I started with my that I started my presentation with, that is showing off the pictures, showing off the pomp and show thing, and giving people an impression that we are doing a lot. No, this is just a small instance, and we maybe need more and more practical efforts. In agricultural sector, we talk about that chili project. We talk about recently there was a sesame sesame production and then export to China from Pakistan. So we talk about those few issues, but we don't talk about that our farmers are still working on the traditional ways. They still don't have the seeding mechanism through drones. They still don't use artificial intelligence. They still don't use hybrid seeds. They still don't use the new machinery. If we have to do a road construction, if we have to do an agricultural, I may say that we have to sow the crops, we still are working on a traditional way. A simple instance: I'm living in Islamabad, and the road network these days, which used to be one of the best ones in Islamabad, is now broken. Everything is now, you may say that the people living in Islamabad and Rawalpindi, they know the situation more better than me now, because I am here for the last about 4 to 5 months. So maybe the situation has improved, but this is not something which is maybe my responsibility, but I am just highlighting it for the concerns that I have in my mind. So out of this pomp and show thing or pomp and circumstance, we have to work something practically. This 10 years of CPEC, 10 years of China-Pakistan economic corridors may have a very good highlights in the newspapers. The 10th year of China-Pakistan economic corridor, the China-Pakistan economic corridor attracted this much investment. It is a success story. Again, a counter of the Western perspective that it is not a debt trap. Not talking about the debt trap, talking about the progress only. Would we have achieved? Would we have seen? It is a flagship project in the pilot project of the Belt and Road, but are we practically having good outcomes, or the outcomes that were planned in 2013? Do we still understand this 1+4 cooperation structure? Gwadar Port is doing well. Gwadar Port is maybe having much more progress. Energy sector is developing, but how will we cater that energy disbursement system? We have a lot of energy that is being produced, or that is being through those mega projects. One of the 3 mega projects that we always talk about is the project at Dasu Dam, then the Suki Kanari, then the Neelam Jhelum project. Again, there are a lot of the road project has already completed. So if enough energy, if enough electricity has been produced or is being produced, why our cities are still having the problems of load shedding? It is not only the production of the energy, it is the disbursement, or it is the transmission system that needs to be worked on. And believe me, nobody will work with us. We have to work. Our responsible organizations, they have to work to make those transmission systems, because making the transmission system better is not in this 1+4 cooperation. Infrastructure is getting better and better. If we move toward the new Silk Road, or we move toward how things are getting better in the KPK region, or how road network is getting improved, yes, it is always a success. But how to generate business out of that infrastructure? How do we make those rest areas, or we make those areas around the highways more profitable for us? This is a question. This is something that we have to do. We have to initiate our universities. In fact, university is also having such a big responsibility, and we need to be carrying this as well. We are trying our level best, but we together have to do something to promote entrepreneurship, to build new ideas. We are having a lot of, this is something, if someone from academics, I'm already trying for it, but if any other academic community member is listening me, we are having a lot of infrastructure projects in Pakistan, but did we ever thought about having a program of road safety in our universities? We never thought about starting a program of masters in road safety, which is the need right now. We are talking about the civil engineering concepts, but we talked about the incorporating some new ideas, incorporating some new collaborations with the Chinese universities and build and develop our curriculum according to the recent technologies. About the industrial cooperation, I would love to say that Diwan Group, they have developed the first electric vehicle, but on one side industrial cooperation is working well. On one side we can see Chang'an producing the cars and exporting the cars from Pakistan. We see China Mobile doing well, but on the other side Telenor has wind up from Pakistan, and one of the good networks is now not in Pakistan. So on one side we see investments, on the other side people are divesting from Pakistan also. So this is a big question again. This is something in which, regardless of CPEC or BRI, we talk about these. We should think about these kind of things. Think about these kind of projects also. Gwadar, as I have already said, it is one of the important projects. These are some of the figures that I will share the slides with you, and you can see that what developments are being made. Again, our coal power plants are a question, why the coal was used. Infrastructure projects are doing well, but again, we had a national calamity, we had floods, and much of the infrastructure was affected in that time. In industrial cooperation, we have done a lot, but still, this is not enough. This is not enough for the reality. This is enough for the pomp and show thing, but we need to bring us out of it. Much has been contributed into the Pakistan economy also. I'm not discussing each and every figure because I want to spare some time for the discussion or for the question answers at the end. You'll have these slides, and most of you may know these figures already. So these slides are just to make you familiar with what we have already done till today, till 2023. Osvaldo, your mic is unmute, so thank you very much. In transportation, similarly, we did some good work. By the end of 2022, it was announced that about more than 236,000 jobs were created by CPEC, but still many jobs are not worth. I mean, we have a good human resource. Why don't we develop that human resource according to the needs of the organizations? If I personally have to talk about that human resource, I really feel bad in mentioning it, that one of the organizations in Pakistan, with their head office in Islamabad, they approached me in fact 1 month ago, and I had to you can say recommend a person for their secretary to the CFO. And the CVs that I have got, I mean, really, I was amazed at why people don't put attention on their own profiles. One of the CVs was a print of a person's curriculum vitae. I don't want to mention the name, and he has taken the picture with the mobile, and he sent that picture to me. another CV, I can share those CVs by cropping the names, and I can share those documents with you if you people want. Another CV was just about 21 or 22 pages. There was one page of full writing, and all of the other pages were having a table that was having very bad formatting, and one column was written for about like 20 pages. If that kind of CVs are being forwarded to the organization, not only the Chinese organizations, but generally to any organization, they will feel that they are hiring stupids. So we need to see what problems we are having, why our human resource is not considered when they ask for when they maybe have some job openings. On the other side, many people are doing very good. If we talk about China, I'm discussing both the sides. Don't take my words negative. I am just highlighting the problems, the issues. We always talk about Orange Line Metro. Orange Line Metro is not part of CPEC, and we consider it as a development project only. But things are again going towards that pump and show thing only. Now, this part is, in fact, the second part, which I talked about in the start. That is, we need to see from local to regional to global approach. We are a country that is having a lot of resources. We are having a country that is having a great potential. I never ever say that we cannot do something, or we are not worth of doing something. We are a good nation. We are hardworking people. Believe me, this is my own perspective, that Chinese people, they are not intelligent. They are hardworking. But we are both intelligent and hardworking. Our people, when working in other countries, when we working abroad, or when working at larger organizations, they bring miracle to their organizations. Why not for our own country? Why not for Pakistan? Why not for this connectivity thing, or you can say this better future, you can say. So I have highlighted some of the prospects, or some of the things which we need to see when we are talking about Pakistan, when we are talking about the Central Asia specifically. So why my topic of the previous slide was local to regional to global approach. So I just talked about some local problems or regional problems, and now it is important to see how we can improve our standing in the Asian, specifically the Central Asian region, because the Central Asian countries, they are of more importance. They are of much importance in this regional connectivity thing. You can choose your friends, but you cannot choose your neighbors. So these are our neighbors, and we need to have better cooperation with them. We need to have better connectivity with them for a better future. So future prospects for Pakistan is, we need to have enhanced trade and transit. We need to develop our energy trade. We need to have infrastructure development. So this CPEC is one, you can say one blessing for us, that we are having this kind of flagship project started from China and going towards other countries also. So it is always called as the gateway of BRI. Are we only thinking about having a road that starts from China and ends in Pakistan, or a railway that is being supported by China? We need to see how we can make our trade better with the Central Asian countries, so that we can access the international markets, so that we can make use of what resources other countries are having, and how those resources can be utilized for regional connectivity. We are having the development of pipeline and transmission networks between Central Asia and Pakistan, these kind of projects are since long they are having some problems. So we need to solve those problems also. If talking about the infrastructure development, it is already, you can say, in ongoing projects are there, ongoing BRI and CPEC projects are there. So we need to see how these projects can be made more and more better. Trade diversification is the next thing. Opportunities for the Central Asian countries. If we face or if we get an opportunity to bring our products to China, to showcase our products in different exhibitions, different trade fairs in China, our trade associations, our chambers have a huge responsibility. And through this platform, I appeal all of them to please participate in these kind of fairs. I personally visited one of the important exhibitions. This is Cultural Industries Exhibition in China about 2 months ago in Shanghai city. And I saw only four or five Pakistani stalls. Why our chambers are not that active? And I had a chance to consult this with the Consulate General of Pakistan in Shanghai also. So they said that we invited and only 5 or 6 companies they have shown interest. For these kind of exhibitions, we always think about we are moving from one country to another country. We are going from Pakistan to China, and we'll spend a lot of money. But if you get one order out of that, we at Pakistan, we are having a lot of products that are of interest. The handicrafts are of interest. I mean, the pink salt is one of the products that can be showcased. The carpets, the leather sector, our Hafizabad region, then again the sports sector, it is having a great potential. The only thing is that we need to see what strategy we should focus for these kind of regions. We need to see the markets. We need to study. We don't need to randomly take our products. In marketing, we call this concept as myopia. So we should come out of the marketing myopia thing, that our products are the best and everyone will buy it. No one will buy it unless you make those products according to their needs. Similarly, technology transfer. We are working in collaboration with China, but we only see the technologies, we appreciate, we applaud, we do clapping, and we come back. Whenever you are having a visit, whenever people are coming to visit, or people are having different you can say cooperations with Chinese organizations, we talk about witnessing the technology. We don't talk about bringing that technology to Pakistan. Talk about bringing that technology to Pakistan. And I offer my full support. I offer my helping hand. I offer the China Study Center's helping hand to all of you, and even to those people who are not listening. And through this platform, I would simply say, Musawwar and others, to propagate this thing. If you need any help, I'll share my contact details at the end, and you can let me know what I can do for you. And I don't need any money from your side. Don't worry, I don't need any money from the Chinese side also. This is what I am doing by realizing my responsibility, my national obligation. Similarly, the security and stability is something which is creating our bad impression, which is creating our negative impression in front of Chinese now. Recently, what happened in the Baloch side, what happened few days ago, a blast in the Punjab province. So these things are always negatively promulgated. And when these negative promulgation is made, it is really very hard to control those negative emotions. counter-terrorism and the security measures are very important. We try to give protocol to them, and we whenever a Chinese delegation is coming, we place one mobile squad in front of their car and at the back of their vehicle. But it is not considered as a protocol by them. It is considered as an insecure country for them. There are problems, there are issues, but we need to find out how, being a common citizen, what are our responsibilities and what we can do. Then is cultural integration. I have talked about cultural integration a little bit. Here, I would only say that people-to-people ties need to be more explored, need to be more worked on, and we have to see how we can work on it. Similarly, there are some future prospects from the Central Asia perspective also. We see the countries with, or we see the economies with natural resources, or the economies that are dependent on their natural resources. But similarly, there are countries that are developing industries, technology, services. They are having their economic growth. So we need to follow their strategy also. It is not only that we see towards, or we look toward China, that they are helping us. It is us, we need to move our hands as well. There are few examples in the infrastructure development sector also. The Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India pipeline. So this kind of projects, they need to be given more importance. There are Lapis Lazuli corridor also. So do see how we can take benefit of these kind of projects, how we can play our role. Then regional trade is something which we should work on. We have one of the best citrus in Pakistan. We have one of the best mangoes in Pakistan, but we don't have the processing plants. Russia is ready to import our mangoes. China is ready to import our mangoes. China is ready to buy our rice. But why do we have less connectivity? Why do we have less connections towards these kind of initiatives? We have to explore what are the potential areas. We have to see the process by which they are making these regional trades more successful, and we have to follow that process. Again, for the Russian region, you see that the energy cooperation, infrastructure and connectivity, trade expansion, security and stability, cultural integration, these are few of the areas on which we have to work. As I have talked about the Central Asia, so it is that is why I am skipping this Russia and moving towards the Chinese side. So this BRI cooperation, if we talk about China, it is playing a central role. China is playing a central role in the Central Asia countries like Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and they are working on the BRI land-based Silk Road economic belt. The China is already investing a lot in it, and we also have to see what benefit we can take, how our connectivity of the Silk Road and this connectivity with the other countries can benefit our economy. Energy and resources is something which we have to see. There are countries like Turkmenistan and Kazakhstan, those are rich in resources. Why we are only talking about one project? We are talking about only Iran gas pipeline. We are not seeing towards other options. We are not seeing toward other transit routes that we are having. Kazakhstan is one of the biggest country in the Central Asia region with a very less population. They may need more workforce. They may need more cooperative projects to explore their natural resources, which can benefit both of the countries. Similarly, in connectivity, we have the infrastructure, rails, roads, and other regional connectivity projects. And this connectivity is not only about physical connectivity regarding technology. We have seen e-commerce in recent years. It is trending, or you can say in recent years it is budding more. What in e-commerce we have done? We had one organization, we made one organization, and that was recently occupied, or not occupied, sorry, but recently overtaken by China. I'm talking about one of the best platforms of e-commerce platforms of Pakistan, Daraz. But the day Daraz was being occupied or overtaken by Chinese management, or the Chinese parent company, how the things have improved, how Daraz front end has improved, how Daraz application system has improved. Why we are not ready to replicate that kind of platforms? We still are having the same kind of thinking when we talk about e-commerce, that it is always fraud on it. Yes, there are frauds in e-commerce. Yes, there are frauds in online buying, but it's not always. And it's not only in Pakistan. E-commerce frauds are common throughout the world. We are still living in the paper currency, and people have crossed 2 generations. The day when I came to China this time, almost 4 or 5 months ago, from that time onward, I have seen the physical currency only 2 times. And that was the time when I have to open my wallet and I have to bring out the money and give it to a shop, because my mobile was powered off. All of the payments that are being made in China are application based. Those who have visited China, Azim Saab is here and he is having a great eye on China's development. So he maybe can second me. He can also witness this thing, that we are 2 generations behind if we talk about e-commerce. So when we will move toward the new things, and the time we will move towards those new things, where China and other world will be. I'm not talking only about China. I'm talking about other world also. UK is not even having, USA is not even having that strong app-based payment systems. And in China, only whenever you make payments, there are only 2 words that you hear: Weixin, Trifubao. Weixin is the WeChat, and Trifubao is the Alipay. So these are the two modes of payments that you can do when you go on a shop. And I'm not talking about big superstores. I'm talking about a small shop where you go and buy a bottle of water, a canteen canteen inside the university where you go and you buy the food, the bus which you take to move from one station to another station, the metro, the underground metro or the underground subway that you take to move from one place to another place. At every place they are using app-based payments. So we have to move forward. We have to increase our pace with these new initiatives. Then again, we have to understand that through this historical Silk Road, we have an access to the Central Asian countries also. We don't have access only to China. We need to explore these new avenues also for exports, for industrial products, for the raw materials. We have to work towards the middle class population. We don't have to work towards the top or the elite class only. And we all, I believe, are part of that middle class. Some of the measures that we have to take towards removing those barriers or removing those problems that we talked about. Cultural sensitivity and training. Language is important. We need to understand that English is not the most widely spoken language now in the globe, around the globe. Now Chinese is the most widely spoken. How many language centers have we developed? How many language testing centers do we have? The Chinese universities, those who know a little bit about education in China, the Chinese universities, they are slowly moving toward the same kind of programs, the same kind of admission systems which the UK and the USA are following. That is IELTS or TOEFL, 6-band, 7-band, before you enter into a university. Chinese university has started asking people to do their language test before they come and enroll in their in their degree programs. Right now, the place where I am sitting, the university where I am sitting, it is 44th in the world. And there is a university in China which is top university, has the first position in Asia, and the same university is having top 10 positions in the whole world. So things are improving. We need this kind of training. We need this kind of education to move to develop ourselves. We need the government support. We are talking about the MOUs. We are talking about the collaboration projects. We are talking about the contracts, but those contracts are very slowly processed by the Pakistani government. So we need to have a one window operation for these kind of collaborative projects. This is really important for us. I personally have processed. If anyone from the center, from my center, China Study Center, is listening me in the audience, they will witness this thing that I have processed 2 MOUs in these last 4 months of my stay in China, and both of them are still lying with the ministry. If the ministry can give preference, or at least do these kind of MOUs on a priority basis, maybe we can start cooperation in a better way. And one out of those MOUs that I just mentioned is about student exchange. It is not about business. The university has offered me 5 positions, 5 PhD positions, and they said that you can recommend 5 students to our university, and we will give them education free of cost, and we will give them stipend every month. It is only that educational cooperation written in that MOU. So the government support is something which we individually and we at an organizational level need a lot. How and what and why and how to improve these systems is something that maybe we can debate at some other time. Then resource mobilization. We have good resources, we have good human resources, and we have good raw materials, you can say, for the Chinese market also, for our own market also. China is in need of, let's say, their leather sector needs a lot of leather from Pakistan, but we have a very poor system of processing जो हमारी जानवरों की खालें होती हैं, बड़ा poor किस्म का process है. Improve those processes, make that raw material worth to be used for these industries, because they won't buy rubbish. They want to have something that is worth for them. We maybe are much familiar with how industries they care about their money, how industries they care about their raw materials or their own resources. International mediation is important. We are one of the recent news that I have heard is that we are getting pressure from the international organizations to double the income tax on the salaried class. This is a recent news that I have heard. I cannot testify this news because I am just getting it through different pop-outs or pop-ins which I am having on my mobile phone. But that intermediation, that international mediation is not only for the destructive purpose. We need to develop our international, you can say, international collaborations among SCO, among the Middle East sector, among the United Nations and all other bodies who support us. We do face problems from our neighbor country India also at multiple platforms. They don't support our initiatives. But this does not mean that because of India we get rejected from everywhere. Another measure, it is the equitable access. All of us should develop a mechanism in which we get access to the new technology initiatives. We are having in Pakistan, we are having at COMSATS, we are having one of the biggest alumni, 300 plus people who graduated from Chinese universities. But what they are doing, I mean, why they are not working toward a common objective or working toward an objective of building cooperation. Again, from the platform of my center, I offer building a database. We have tried this at the PM house level, but again, that was politicized somehow. So doing it at an institutional level, which is a not-for-profit institution, which is an educational institution, I offer my help, I offer my study center's platform to build one database where I can collect, where my center can collect information about human resource who knows China. And then placing them to different organizations. Then we take that database, we provide access of that database free of cost to the Embassy of China in Pakistan. We give that that database access free of cost to the Embassy of Pakistan in China and the consulate journals of Pakistan in China. The problem can be solved. We have the solutions, but again, everybody need to contribute towards it. One of you can take responsibility of the Punjab province. Another one come ahead and take responsibility of Sindh province. I cannot do it alone for whole of the country, but what I can do is I can promote it as much as possible. I can independently depute one person at the center to build that kind of database or take care of that kind of database. I will not charge any cost for the IT resources. Similarly, capacity building is needed. We do a lot of activities, we do a lot of conferences, workshops, trainings, competitions, but we need to ask those people for this forum or this 2 months long training. I would request Azim Saab also, I would ask Musawwir also to make it mandatory to all the people who attend a specific section to write one reflection paper, to write 2 pages only, but it should not be a chat GPT paper or it should not be something which you copy and paste. Just 2 pages of your reflection about my my session. 8 sessions, if you get about like 800 pages or let's say 80 pages, out of those 80 pages you can prepare a very good report, and that is not your biased opinion, that is not your biased view, that is something which multiple people, multiple ears have heard and they have recorded, and they should give one suggestion, they should give 2 suggestions at the end of that reflection paper, and one promise that they can make. Okay, if I'm needed, I can promise that I will contribute in this thing. This is something which can actually contribute in this capacity building thing. Then online platforms, we do have multiple online platforms, but we again need to work on the e-commerce thing. We need to work a lot on not only on propagation, not only on the propaganda. And this propaganda is not a negative word, by the way. This propaganda means spreading the news, spreading the information. So doing propaganda with our relevant audiences. We have good platforms. We have Twitter, on which I am following Azim, I am following Youth Diplomacy also. I am following multiple other people on Twitter, on other platforms. And I personally also post on these platforms just to know what we are doing, so that if somebody is interested, they can contact me. It is not that I like people having more and more likes on my photos. If you see me moving towards, let's say, towards Xinjiang region, Azim Saab know it well. I was in Xinjiang about 1.5 months ago. I contacted him also. So if at Xinjiang I can help you in anything, I can help you meet someone on your behalf, and I can play an intermediary role without any financial obligation. Please don't consider it as I want to earn money from you. If I'm going somewhere, I can represent you, I can solve your any problem. Please do let me know. This is what public engagement is. We use these online platforms to engage people. I got in contact with one of the professors from Central Asia, from Kazakhstan. I tried to offer some of my ideas to him, and now we have converted it into a research project that we are going to submit to the Kazakhstan government, because people know how this engagement works. But what we think is like, oh यार ये बंदा हमेशा जब फेसबुक खोलो इसी की तस्वीर आ रही थी, देखो यार उसने लिखा क्या है. See what he has done. Maybe there are people like me who like to show off with pictures, but not all of them. By the way, मुझे भी show off का शौक नहीं है. My purpose is to just let people know that I'm in this sector. I am a business graduate, but I am working on the BRI, CPEC, on the climate education thing as allied disciplines that I may learn along with this. During this tenure, I talked about how we can have climate education in Pakistan and how climate education from China can help Pakistan, which will ultimately contribute in SDGs, which will ultimately contribute in Pakistan's overall development. Climate education is not my subject, but yes, because of that climate education talk or that climate education lecture, that university asked me that please send us 5 students. That is my objective. That is what I gained from that public engagement. But I'm sorry to say I mentioned that our government support is still a little weak. We need to work more on it. We need to see how things can be improved so that we can get some favorable outcomes. These are some of the issues that are important. For example, political economic situation, we have talked about it. Security situation, we have talked about it, but these are important concerns. That is why I have written them here again. We are an agricultural country, the third point, and we are trying to transform from an agricultural to an industrial country. We cannot change this orientation overnight. We cannot do infrastructure or we cannot do industrial things without expertise. So we need to gain those expertise. We need not to get trainings from China in a VVIP environment. I have talked at multiple platforms in China also that people who are being selected by Economic Affairs Division, by higher education ने अभी तक कोई training अभी तक organize नहीं की जो हमारा CPEC Secretariat बना हुआ है या CPEC Consortium of Universities है, but I feel happy that they have at least about a week ago they have asked for the nominations from the universities and from other related colleges for the training in China. But when that training will be offered, I don't know about it, but Economic Affairs, Ministry of Science and Technology, they are offering training in different sectors. But those trainings are again the word that I used in the start, which I don't feel good at using, but pomp and show thing. Bringing the people, taking them to Alibaba Group, taking them to the Ant Group, taking them to the headquarters of China Economic Net, taking them to XYZ place, and then taking them out. Make them learn. don't make them, I request from this platform, don't make them stay at the 5-star or 7 stars. Make them stay in those industrial places. Place them in those industrial places for 5 days, for 10 days. Let them witness the things. Let them go through the process so that at least they can get 10% out of it. If you are just taking them, giving them around the organization and bringing them out, our people get fascinated. जिसको कहते हैं ना आंखें चकाचौंध हो गई हैं, तो हमारी सिर्फ आंखें चकाचौंध हो जाती हैं. हम we don't think about what they are doing. Recently there was a delegation. I can forward the link of that vlog also to Musawir, and he can post in the group as well. The media girl, if you see the vlog, you can know the name. I don't want to mention it here, but the media girl was just saying, देखिए जी यहाँ पे कितनी बड़ी-बड़ी screens लगी हैं. She was in the headquarter of Jindong. JD is a big group of in e-commerce. ये देखें जी, ये इतनी बड़ी-बड़ी screen लगी है, पूरे hall जितनी बड़ी screens लगी हुई हैं यहाँ पे. Come on, you have to see what is the content. You don't have to make yourself feel low because of that technological development. Learn the expertise, learn the things that they are offering. Influence होना सिर्फ उस पॉम्प शो को देख के influence होना हमारा मकसद नहीं है. SEG's issue is again something on which I have talked in the start. Don't cry over that. Let's say कि जी हमारा SEG's fail, हमारे शो में 9 SEGs थे, फिर 6 रह गए, फिर 4 रह गए. I have given you the example that China started the similar kind of initiative with 11 cities, and only one, Shenzhen, was a success. But they have made that Shenzhen SEZ as a role model, and they learned what mistakes they have done, and then they replicated that Shenzhen to all of the others. How many of us, how many of our cities are part of the China Sister City Project? We never think about this Sister City Project. Sister City Project is very common in China, specifically when they are collaborating with other countries. Lahore can be a sister city as one city of China. Karachi, being the trade city, can be a sister city of Guangzhou, where I lived for more than 5.5 years, because it is a trade city where one of the biggest trade fairs of the world happens. It is the Canton Fair. So develop Karachi on the same pattern as Guangzhou. Yes, we cannot be same because of the technological innovation that they have made, and we are behind, but we can at least start doing it. We can work on Islamabad as a sister city of Beijing. Follow their policy. Then we do have to see our success stories. We have to highlight our success stories. But from those success stories, we have to see how we can replicate those things also. There is some lack, or there is less contribution in the positive narrative also. So we need to counter that as well. There are some fake news. There are some, you can say, negative news about our collaborations also, about CPEC, about BRI. So it is, again, being Pakistanis, our responsibility to write more and more for that. The academic community specifically need to have more and more contribution toward this thing. Then human resource development, I have talked much about it. Blue job opportunities is something which we should see, because we always talk about Gwadar being a successful project. So there are a lot of opportunities. There are a lot of opportunities in this sector also. I have quoted a very old figure of 2016, but after that 2016, I haven't found much of the data on specifically on agriculture, forestry, hunting, and fishery employment spheres or employment sector. So we need to see this fisheries sector. We need to see how um, how this blue jobs or how the jobs related to ocean or seas can help us. It is not only that we build some good restaurants like in Karachi and we earn good money out of it. It is to see how we can earn from that resource that maybe many countries are not having. Many landlocked countries don't have the seas or oceans. So we have to see how we can do this. Again, this is a kind of a repetition. The last slide, which in fact plays, which in fact summarizes all of it, just a different view of it. समीर कितना टाइम है हमारे पास और मजीद?
Sir, I think it's too long, and I just send you a text as well, so that we can conclude and move towards our panel discussion. So,
Okay. This is maybe my last slide. Only one thing I would, yes, this is the last one. So only one thing, artificial intelligence is something which I want to mention. We have to understand this is the era of artificial intelligence, and we need to develop some good initiatives that can work well. Whoever can share my contact with you people. I can also share my WeChat contact if it is needed. Artificial intelligence पे मैं ज़्यादा बात नहीं कर सका because मैंने time का अंदाज़ा नहीं रखा. Already we are at 8 o'clock, so we have about sorry, आपके पास तो time है 4 बज रहा होगा.